So yesterday I had a bit of a thought, and I was thinking this would actually be a really good video to make on the YouTube channel. And that is that we are pretty much having deja vu with the stock market crash in 2020 all over again. And this is such an opportunity right now in the stock market, a massive opportunity. I would say that between every 6 to 10 years as an investor, every 6 to 10 years you have to wait for that golden opportunity. And that golden opportunity will come. And it'll be one of those opportunities that everyone looks back at and goes, that was a very good time to invest. And we had one of them. We haven't had one for a while. But in 2020, we were gifted with one of those opportunities. We had one of those opportunities where the stocks were ticking on nicely. Gets to February 2020, a worldwide pandemic happens, something that we're not seeing for hundreds of years, and the share prices of everything drops rapidly, and you have the indexes losing over 30%. That once a decade opportunity nearly that comes around for investors. And during that period of time, it was a tough time. It was a time where it was tough. It was hard as an investor. It was hard to see your bank account drop so quickly, or your broker's account drop so quickly in value, and stocks you were owning were losing 30, 40, 50%. Now, the thing is, if you bought in that dip, you obviously know the outcome now. Obviously, the stock market went on to recover very well, and everyone that bought in that period of time in 2020 has walked away and going, that was a good opportunity. That was a really good time to make money. If you invested, you look a genius. You got stocks at massive discounts and you got the rewards. And it's very easy to say that once we've been through it. I'll tell you something, it was a different story. During this period of time, there wasn't the kind of jump on the bandwagon on YouTube and making videos talking about, the stock market is amazing in this period of time. It was an ugly period of time. I was making videos in that period of time going, I was saying buy the dip, but personally for me, even I was looking going, this is a bad situation. This is a bad situation that we are currently going through right now. I've never been an investor in a pandemic. I think we'll be all right. The stock market's been through world wars. It's been through, big massive terrorist attacks. I think we'll be all right and we'll make it through the other side. And, obviously now it's easy to go, in that period of time, I was buying a lot of stocks and I made a good amounts of money, and it's easy to do it in hindsight now. Now, what we're having right now is we're having the stock market pretty much re-go through 2020. We are having the stock market rebound. And in that period of time, we've now had the indexes drop nearly the same amount as what they did during the CV situation. Now, the crazy thing is that what we've also had is in this period of time, whether you'll want to look at growth stocks like Square, Shopify, both of them stocks are now actually below their CV times. They're below this time and they're below this time. Those both stocks, I think, at the same sort of prices they were at in around about 2019. You can look at Meta. I think Meta's at the prices it was at in 2018. And we have the likes of PayPal that's, I think, somewhere near the prices it were in 2018 as well. So right now we're actually having a repeat of the 2020 stock market crash. However, this time it's different. We're actually having stocks. Indexes are about the same down as what they were in the CV times. But we're actually having individual stocks that are dropping on the equivalent to below CV levels, and you're talking back to 2018, 2019 levels. So we're actually having a 2020 stock market crash all over again, but in fact, it's even worse. We're having stocks drop even more than what they did in the CV times. The indexes are still holding up okay, but in this period of time, there's individual stocks that are down even more than them CV times at the moment. And the difference is from this time round compared to the CV times, it didn't feel so bad because we dropped aggressively, but we recovered aggressively as well. Whereas this time we're going through a drop, which is just slowly tugging away. It's slowly just chipping away at you. Since November time, we've seen the stock market just slowly downtrend, and we're sitting in October now, and we're nearly 12 months, and this isn't forgetting some of the stocks. Some of the stocks have been doing this even longer. We've had nearly 12 months of it going in a downtrend, and that's been a lot worse than CV times because it's just been a slower chip away at you. And that's a very tough market to go through, is when you have a stock market that's slowly chipping away like that. But very much like the CV times, good days will come back to the market. It's an awful time at the moment, but good days will come back. And just like how everyone was a bit like, oh, you know, pandemic's pretty bad. And even I was going, this is a bit of a bad situation. We recovered. And this time round, you look at the market, it's getting dragged down because of a few things. Inflation, people acting like inflation is never going to pass. I tell you something, this is a golden opportunity. And if in 3, 4, 5 years time, people will not look at, oh, do you remember how bad that inflation was in... well, they might look back at it, but you won't remember it, because by then it would have gone and we would have moved on. The stock market does it. Eventually it will return to 52-week highs. And even though this is an awful dip we're going through, the stock market will recover this dip at a point. And this will look like a really good opportunity. Now, this is what is quite weird to see, is that because we've had share prices that have dropped massive, you know, where we've had a V shape in 2020, we've had stock prices go back to, you know, 2018 levels. And from 2020 to now in 2022, we've had in that period of time, whether you want to look at Shopify, Square, Meta, PayPal, we've had all those companies in the last 2 years have grown their financials massively. So in what we're having right now in 2022 compared to 2020 is we're actually having a dip that's actually bigger than 2020. You know, these stocks are losing 60, 70, 80%. We now have metrics at lower levels than 2020 because the share prices have dipped more, and also the businesses themselves are even better than 2020 because we've had 2 years of financial growth. So right now you've got stocks on bigger dips. You're having companies at the moment are at better valuations than the 2020 dip because they've grown 2 years of financials, and now the valuations are even lower than where they're at right now. And the big thing is right now is that rather than having that V dip, what we've been gifted is a 12-month period of share prices going down. And this is amazing because what we didn't have last time when we had the 2020 dip is it was a golden opportunity, and everyone can agree now it was a golden opportunity. But in the 2020 dip, we didn't have a long, you know, we basically had maybe the last week of February, March, maybe April, maybe May, maybe into June. You basically had, you know, 3-4 months to buy at a push. You had 3 or 4 months of really good discounted stocks to buy. And that was the only little downside to the CV dip. We're now getting a dip which has been persistent and long and stayed down for 12 months, giving us longer opportunities to buy at these values. And people looking at this in fear, in negativity. I have no idea why. I have no idea why people are looking at the stock market at the moment as a negative. We have got a once in a lifetime opportunity again, which we had in 2020, and now we're having it again in 2 years later. So we're having one, we're really close to each other. We're having at the moment dips that are bigger than the 2020 dip. We have valuations and metrics lower than 2020 because share prices are now lower and market caps are lower than 2020, and they've grown the businesses since that 2 years ago period of time. And we're now getting the persistent dip where you can have a longer period of time to start building up those positions. And people are talking about this as a negative. It's unbelievable. Like, this is a golden opportunity to be buying amazing stocks at amazing valuations right now. And you want to be grabbing that opportunity with both hands. And I tell you something, I don't know when it'll be. It could be, you know, 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years. But at some point in the future, and the stock market is back at 52-week highs, people have forgotten about the inflation and all the pressures that are currently on at the moment, and you look back on that opportunity and go, that 2022 was that opportunity that you get once every couple of years. And it's painful going through it. It is painful. But when you look at the opportunity and when you look at what benefit you will have in the future from buying that opportunity, you'll be happy you took the rewards. And we don't really get these often. You know, we had one in 2020 where it was a great wealth builder for many people, and we're getting one exactly the same again. An even bigger opportunity than the 2020 situation. And people are looking at it as a bit of a negativity. You want to be looking at these as time to capitalise and make very good money in the future. You're getting stocks at, businesses that have lost half the market caps, and they're financially, in a very good place. Sure, a few companies might be having a few issues at the moment where there's some internal metrics that are getting hit slightly, but they're still massively better than where they were. And going in the future, these businesses will have a place, and the economy will boom, and they will do very well. And you'll be thinking, I wish I took them opportunities when there was a little bit of uncertainty out there. It's amazing in the stock market. The stock market is the only place where you get a little bit of uncertainty and you get opportunities for half the price. No other place do you get that. No other place do you get a bit of uncertainty and you lose half the value. It's absolutely insane. You couldn't go into a Ferrari garage and go, the economy looks a little bit uncertain. I'm allowed to have one of your Ferraris now for half the price. They'd laugh at you. They'd laugh at you in the showroom and go, give up, we're still selling these at full price. Oh, okay, we might need to shift a few out by the end of the month to meet our sales target. Okay, we'll give you 2% off. The stock market is the only place where you have a asset that can lose half its value because there's a little bit of nerves in the market. It's the only place that it happens, and it's absolutely insane. And you remember, buying these opportunities, there's opportunities where you look in a few years' time and go, do you remember you could have got that for half the price? And it'll be a funny situation to look at. So yeah, I just want to talk about this situation here and say, this is like the 2020 stock crash again. It's even better, but it's even better. So everyone that benefited from that CV crash, I know that you'll be looking at this and you'll be thinking, I need to benefit from this crash. And at the moment, there's them golden opportunities out there. So if you enjoyed the video anyway, guys, hit the like button if you're new, subscribe, and I'll see you next video.